Hey guys, this week on Scotty's Garage we're going to do something different. We're going to take a look at this Vevor Ultrasonic Cleaner. Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're like me, you hate cleaning. Kind of obvious, isn't it? And cleaning parts really does suck. And I've been looking at ultrasonic cleaners for a while now, and then Vevor reached out the other day and said, would you like to test our ultrasonic cleaner? This is their big boy. This is their 30-litre unit. It's a big unit. So we're going to run it through its paces, have a look at it, and see if it's worth the coin. And it's not that expensive, to be honest. I think that's about $350. I'll put the exact cost down below. And they have sent the unit out for me to test free of charge. So if you want to purchase one, there will be a link in the description, and if you buy one, I will get a small commission as well. So just making everything very clear to everyone. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about this. I've been looking for one of these for a while and just wondering whether it, are they any good? I don't know. I'd like to try one, but I'm kind of trying to save money at the moment. So if this does the trick, I'll be stoked, and you guys will know that you're getting a good product. So let's crack it open. It's a big box. What it weighs 13.5 kilos including box, and the unit itself I think is 12 kilos, just so you've got an idea of weights. Okay, it's packed well, lots of foam packing. Keep it safe. There's the lid, all in nice protective plastic. It's even got protective plastic on the lid as well. This blue stuff is not a coating, it's a plastic coating to plastic covering to keep it protected. And there's a basket inside, so we've got some instructions, some fittings, power cord, and some sort of tube, which I will work out what that's for in a sec. Now let's get the unit out. As I said, it is 12 kilos, so it is not light. The box is empty now, other than packing material. Okay, let's see if this bag's got a hole. Oh, well, the hole's the top. Look at that. Okay, wow, it is nice and shiny. Look at that. Now that's something that you would be proud to have in your garage. Like they said, 30-litre capacity. You probably don't want to fill it all the way to the brim, but there is a basket in there. So, you could drop the items in there without the basket, I'm guessing, or you can just sit them in the basket, and that'll make it easier for removing later. Get our lid, put that on top, and peel back the protective coating. Removing the seal for the first time, there's just something special about it, isn't there? Now, it all appears to be stainless steel. I'll put a magnet on it in a sec just to test that, but if it is, you shouldn't need to worry about rusting or anything like that. So that last little bit, there we go. Look at that. So shiny and new. Very cool. It's got a tap on this side. We'll do some close-ups in a sec. Digital display on the front. Power inlet on the back with a power switch. I'll get some shots of that right now. So I've moved our ultrasonic cleaner over to the edge of the table here. I've attached the hose to our little tap and put a bucket down there, so that'll be easier to drain it later when we need to do that. It's recommended when you fill these things that you don't try and fill them with a tap or a hose, that you fill them with, a container so you can add the fluid at a nice gentle rate and that way don't spill it all over the controls, which they highly recommend you do not do. Now they say to put it on a hard surface, not a soft padded surface. There are vents and there is a fan underneath, so you don't want water under there either. Yeah, so don't block the vents, don't put it on a soft surface, hard surface. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to put 15 litres of water in there, and I'll probably put 5 litres of degreaser or something like that. Do have some degreaser here. Bit more. So what I've tipped in is this Valvoline Super Degreaser, which was left over from the Valvoline sponsorship of the Carnage Workshop. And it has made the water quite milky looking. We'll see how this goes. So one of my upcoming projects is a rebuild on one of those 383 big blocks, and I've got a timing cover there which is quite, as you can see, quite filthy, and this rear main seal. So this holds the rear main seal on the big block. That's the timing cover. They are filthy. I'm just going to sit them in there. They say not to overlap them and try and not do too many pieces at once. So we'll put them in there. Plug it in. And turn the power on. Okay, we have a beep. All right, before we do anything, let's put the lid on. And now we'll set up our timer and heater. So we've got the heater set for 53. Let's go, let's say 50 degrees. It's actually 19 at the moment. I think it's, yep, all right, we've got the temperature on, so that should start rising. Apparently it will take a little bit. It actually went down there for a sec. And then we've got our timer. So I've got 20 minutes at the moment. Let's bump that up to 30 minutes. Now, what I might do is try and use it without, like the heater is on, and we are going to bring the heat up. But let's see how it works just cold as it tries and brings the heat up. I think temperature takes a while to come up. So let's do a start right now, 30 minutes, and see what temperature it gets to in that 30 minutes as well. All right, let's push the button. Okay. I was told these were quite loud, but I don't think that's too loud at all. Okay, all right, we'll come back in 30 minutes and see how it went with those two items. So it's done its first cycle. Let's have a look. I'm going to turn it off and unplug it because they recommend you do these in the instructions. They just want to make sure you don't electrocute yourself in any way. So let's lift that. Whoop, there's definitely some crud there, so it means it removed something. Ew. Right, let's have a look. Okay, it's not hot or anything, it's not going to burn me. Okay, so it's not spotless, but it looks like it's dislodged some stuff. Let's have a look on the towel. Right, let's have a look. So we've got a rear main seal here. There's still some crud on there that's quite stuck on. Most of the elastic's ready to come off though. Yeah, it just falls off basically. What about rubbing the edge here? Yeah, so that's just the wipe. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So what I might do is chuck that back in. I'll just remove that edge seal there. Give it a bit of a wipe. And we'll give it another run for 30. I reckon you probably saw that the temperature had come up to about 45, 46 degrees. I reckon temperature definitely helps. So let's go again. That's got some cork stuck to it, so I might scrape that cork off it and then throw it back in and get the rest of this crud off. All right, what about the timing cover? Yeah, you can feel the crud just wiping away. Yeah, that's wiping away quite well actually. So what I'm going to do, give it a wipe and then send it in again, and hopefully that should just remove the remaining goo basically. Okay, let's go for another 30, but I might crank the temperature up a bit more. Okay, let's go up to 65. We're on 30 minutes. On. Let's go for it. Right, well, second session is over, so let's turn that off. Pop the lid. Alright, how's it this time? It's definitely warmer, but still no fear of burning myself. I definitely wouldn't want to stick my hand in there. I can feel the heat coming off there. So, oh yeah, that's definitely, that's warm. And everything's quite loose. That's good. Just run the screwdriver down through there to, yeah, bye-bye elastic. But yeah, that piece is cleaned up quite nicely. So I guess the main thing is, if you're in a hurry to clean something up, this may not be the way you want to do it. You know, that it's more of a put some stuff in there and run it in the background. You can be in here and run it while you're in here. I've just sat in here for the past, you know, half an hour or more, just typing some stuff up on the phone. So it's, you know, it hasn't been that loud and intrusive to, you know, be annoying. There is kind of a high frequency edge to it. So, yeah, you wouldn't want to sit right next to it or anything like that. Just got to get that main seal out of the bottom, but yeah, there we go. Right. But yeah, it's pretty much, it's cleaned up that rear main seal bridge quite well. And I haven't had to do too much to it. So, you know, I could spend another 5 minutes of that, make it spotless, and that's ready to put in an engine, you know. So the cover, again, it's even starting to remove this paint. It's loosened up this paint here. So that's not too bad at all. I could probably hit that with a hose and remove just the heavier parts of the grime. But yeah, you can see it's actually starting to lift the paint. So I think if we were to run that for longer, you would essentially remove the paint long term. Yeah, scratching off with a screwdriver on a rag. Yeah. So I could run a paint scraper over that and essentially remove that old paint. Okay, so timing chain set. I'll separate that from those. And let's try a couple rods and pistons. See how that goes. All right, drop that in. Okay, so that one's cooked for another 30 minutes or more. See how we go. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay. Right, let's have a squeeze. Ooh, everything is toasty warm. Just wipe that. Some of the goop has collected just in the edge there, but overall, that gear has turned up basically spotless. I'll just give it a bit of a hose with some degreaser, but that's come up very clean. So has the crank gear, the chain. Just needs, again, a bit of a spray with some degreaser, and I think it's right to go. So all of these pistons, it's all a bit warm. All right. Wow, that is quite warm. The top of the piston still has a fair bit of carbon, but let's hold the side for a sec. The rod and the piston itself looks a lot cleaner. It was definitely not that clean when it went in. Oh wow, the carbon's wiping off. I reckon if we were to put that in again, the carbon would soften up to the point where we'd be able to get the rest of that off completely. So that's not too bad at all. So just be aware that parts will be warm, quite warm, especially at 65 degrees where we have it now. But yeah. So look, this one, again, the carbon's actually wiping away. Could probably pull the rings off and let the ring gaps get the benefit of a full cleanse. But yeah, the piston is quite a bit cleaner than it was. It's not spotless, not yet, but I think if I was put that in again, she would clean right up. Okay, last test. I'm going to put all our caps in there. What I might do is pull the bolts out, lay them beside the caps. so we know which ones went with which. And then I've got all these random bolts here. We'll chuck them up the end here. And there's no risk of them being mixed up. Alrighty, we'll chuck that in, do that for a cycle, and we'll see what the bolts and the main caps will come up looking like. Turn that off. Let's give it a look. Right, so we'll lift it up. Oh, it's quite warm. Onto our cloth. And wow, okay. The bolts are all nice and clean. Basically everything is sort of just wipe off. I mean, it's got some residue on it, mainly because it sits on it once it's cleaned it. But once you give it a wipe with a rag, and then all these bolts, again, let's just wipe them off. Still got some paint and stuff on them. Maybe the heavier ones will need another go through, but oh, that's toasty warm. Main cap, that's a lot cleaner than when it went in. Look at it, looks like new. So it's cleaned that up really well. So we've cleaned up all our main caps and bolts, cleaned up a bunch of these bolts. Got a cam bolt there. Picked up a cam the other day, which will be good for this new motor. Yeah. There's still some residue in the top of these little bolts. You can see there. So yeah, it might need a little bit more of a heavy duty bath, just to get these really grimy bolts cleaned off, but it's loosened everything off quite a bit, so that way they will clean up, so when we go to reassemble this engine we're not doing it with crusty bolts. Still, it's not bad. Okay, so what's the resolution? It works. I mean, that's pretty clear. This works. I mean, the fluid is still good for the time being, so I'll clean some more stuff with it, but it's easy to drain out. We could, you know, flick the handle right now and fluid will flow straight out into our bucket. So easy to drain, and then, you know, it cleans so well, and you can just set it and forget. Put your stuff in, put it in the cleaner, turn it on, walk away and go do something else, which is basically what I've been doing all day. So I'll set some stuff up to clean, go and do some editing, do some other stuff, move files around, do some cleanup in the shed, and it's not that loud. Like, I watched a few videos before I got this device, and a lot of people said, oh, it's so loud, it's so loud, oh, it's so loud. It's not that loud at all. The rain is louder, I'll be honest. So it's not that loud. It does a good job of cleaning. I'll put the price in the description, but I think it was like $350, $360. And if you click the link in the description, you'll get it cheaper again. And you help the channel out as well. But whether you buy this one or one of the smaller ones, I would recommend go the 30 litre. I mean, especially for us car guys. For us car guys, we want as much capacity as we can get. Obviously, you're not going to fit a crankshaft in there. It's not big enough for that. But stuff like this, you know, main caps, nuts and bolts, rods and pistons, timing covers, all that sort of stuff you can clean up in no time at all. And like I said, it's set and forget. Put it in, push the button, walk away, go do something else. And if you have to give it another go through, that's easy enough to do too. So it's not a clean it right away thing, it's a do this while I'm doing something else thing. So I think it's a great product. I'm going to use it a lot here in the shed, I can tell you. I'll run this fluid through until it's basically no good. We'll dump it out and then put some more in it. I think the degreaser is a good fluid to run in it. It seems to work really well. It softens up that really heavy duty grime, and I think it's going to be a good thing for Scotty's garage. So yeah, now I just need to find a space for it to live permanently, because obviously I'm not going to leave it here on the table, but I'll have to find a space for it to live. And we're going to be doing lots of cleaning of parts, lots of building of stuff, and you're going to see it all on future episodes of Scotty's Garage.